Betty, an elegant and privileged girl, sits surrounded by wealth and extravagance. She gazes out the window, yearning for something more meaningful in her life. She comes up with a plan: to pretend to be an ordinary girl and find true love, undeterred by her family's riches. Betty bumps into a table, her wallet slipping from her grasp and falling to the ground. She panics, knowing she has no money, but refuses to call her family for help. Daniel, a kind-hearted and hardworking man, witnesses Betty's predicament and rushes to her aid. Excuse me, miss? You dropped your wallet." Betty, doing her best to play the role of a poor girl, blushes and takes back her wallet. Oh, thank you. I'm so clumsy." From there, the acquaintance between Betty and Daniel began, which eventually turned into love. Betty and Daniel spend time together, exploring the simple pleasures of life. They share laughter and stories, but Daniel doesn't know who Betty really is. Betty, torn between her love for Daniel and her fear of losing him, paces nervously in her room. She knows the secret must be told, but worries about the consequences. Betty's parents introduce her to Sebastian, a charming young man from a wealthy family. Betty is torn between her love for Daniel and her parents' expectations. Betty's parents and Sebastian take a drive through the city. Unbeknownst to Betty, Daniel is in the driver's seat. Betty doesn't know Daniel is Sebastian's personal driver. Daniel glances at Betty through the rearview mirror, recognizing her but unable to reveal his knowledge. "Oh, Daniel, I can't wait for you to meet my future wife. She's truly remarkable." Daniel forces a smile, feeling an intense pain in his heart. Betty sits nervously between her parents and Sebastian. Daniel stands at the entrance, heartbroken, as Betty realizes her secret has been exposed. "Daniel, I didn't mean for this to happen." "How could you, Betty? You deceived me. I thought we had something genuine." Betty's parents watched the exchange in disbelief. "What's going on here, Betty?" "I'm sorry, Daddy. This is the man I truly love." Betty's parents share a concerned look, unsure of how to react. "You dare to choose a poor man over me?" Daniel, hurt and defeated, turns to leave. "Daniel, please. I wanted to tell you myself." Daniel pauses, his gaze filled with longing and despair. "I'm sorry, Betty. This is a world I can't compete in." Daniel walks away, leaving Betty and her family in shock. Betty's parents, Betty and Sebastian, sit in tense silence. The weight of the situation hangs heavily in the air. "I'm sorry, Mama. Papa, I know I've hurt you by keeping this secret. But please understand, Daniel is the one I love." "Betty, we've already made an agreement with Sebastian's parents. It wouldn't be fair to break our word." "Betty, I love you, and I can provide you with everything. Please reconsider." Betty's heart aches as she looks at Sebastian, then steals a glance at Daniel, who stands at a distance, his trust shattered. "I understand the agreement, Mama. Horst." But my happiness should not come at the cost of sacrificing true love. I can't marry someone without love." Betty's mother looks at her spouse with a conflicted expression, realizing the depth of her daughter's emotions. "We need to discuss this further." Daniel sits alone, battling feelings of betrayal and heartbreak. Betty enters, determination in her eyes. "Daniel, please listen to me. I never meant to hurt you. I was afraid my family's wealth would drive you away."
"Betty, I fell for you as an ordinary person. But finding out the truth, it felt like I wasn't enough for you."
"Daniel, I made a mistake. I should have trusted you with my secret from the beginning. I love for who you are, not your financial status."
"Betty, I don't know if I can trust you again. It hurt to realize you lied. Betty, as much as it pains me to say this, I think we should end our relationship."
Betty's eyes widen in disbelief, tears swelling in her eyes. "But Daniel, I love you. You're the one I want, no matter the circumstances."
"Betty, you deserve someone who can give you everything you've ever dreamed of. I can't provide for you the way your family can."
"I don't care about material possessions, Daniel. My love for you transcends wealth. I'll give up everything if it means being with you." Daniel's eyes glisten with tears, torn between his love for Betty and his perceived unworthiness.
"Betty, it's not just about possessions. It's about a life that I can't offer you. You deserve more. Someone who can give you the world."
Betty's face contorts with heartbreak, tears cascading down her cheeks. "I always thought love conquered all, Daniel. But if you can't see your worth, I can't force you to stay." They sit in silence, the weight of their decision hanging heavily in the air. Day after day passed. Sebastian tried to win Betty's heart, but his efforts to get Betty's love were unsuccessful. Various ways have been done, making him realize that Betty is not destined for him. As Daniel mourns the loss of his relationship with Betty, there's a knock on his door. He opens it to find Sebastian, a surprising sight.
"Daniel, we need to talk. It's about Betty."
Daniel eyes him warily, but gestures for Sebastian to enter. Daniel and Sebastian sit across from each other, an air of tension and uncertainty lingering between them.
"What could you possibly want, Sebastian? Why would you come to me after everything that's happened?" "I've come to realize that Betty's happiness should be our utmost priority. Yes, I was angry and bitter because she chose you over me. But seeing how she fought for your love made me question my own intentions."
Daniel's brow furrows in confusion, unsure of what Sebastian is trying to convey.
"What do you mean, Sebastian?" "I thought I wanted Betty because of her family's wealth and status. But witnessing her love for you, Daniel, made me realize how empty and shallow my desires were. She deserves someone who loves her selflessly. Someone like you.
Daniel's eyes widen in surprise, his guard slowly slipping away.
Sebastian, if this is true, then why are you telling me? Shouldn't you be fighting for Betty's heart?
Sebastian sighs, a flicker of vulnerability in his eyes.
I tried, Daniel. I tried to persuade her to be mine. But her heart belongs to you. Even though she betrayed your trust, her love for you is undeniable. I'm here to ask for your forgiveness and to encourage you to give her another chance.
Daniel is taken aback by Sebastian's words, grappling with a whirlwind of emotions. He looks into Sebastian's eyes, searching for sincerity.
I never thought I'd hear this from you, Sebastian. But if what you say is true, if Betty truly loves me, then maybe forgiveness is possible.
Daniel and Sebastian stand side by side facing Betty's house, their apprehension palpable.
Go on, Daniel. Talk to her. Trust in her love, just like I've come to.
Daniel takes a deep breath, mustering all his courage, and walks toward the house. Sebastian watches him with a mix of regret and hope in his eyes. Betty sits alone, filled with remorse, when the doorbell rings. Ding, ding! She opens it to find Daniel standing there, uncertainty etched on his face.
Tanya, I thought you'd given up on us.
Sebastian made me see things differently. He came to me, advocating for your love. He made me realize that I still love you, despite the pain we've both endured.
Betty's eyes widen with astonishment and hope.
Daniel, I love you, and I'll spend the rest of my life proving my love and earning back your trust.
They embrace, tears streaming down their faces, knowing that their love has endured despite the trials they faced. In a world where deception and mistrust often darken the path of love, it is essential to remember that true love should begin with honesty. Let us always remember the immeasurable power of honesty and love, for only then can we build genuine connections that withstand the test of time.